Today we're going to continue with our study of scientists from the scientific revolution. We're going to begin with Galileo Galilei, which we'll also study him a little bit more as well in our units in science because he had such a great influence on the science that we know today. So Galileo, he built on new theories about astronomy. Now, if you remember, astronomy is the study of the stars in the sky. He's known for his writing of the book Starry Messenger, in which he described his observations from his self-made telescope. Yeah, this guy made and built his own telescope. He also challenged the church because it supported the Hellenistic theory that went against the church's teaching. If you remember, at that time, the Catholic Church only supported the geocentric theory, which is the theory that everything in the universe revolves around the Earth. But Galileo said, nope, that's not how it works. Everything, at least in our solar system, revolves around the sun, which is known as the heliocentric theory. So a little bit more about Galileo. What if the church was wrong about the earth being the center of the universe? What might people do? This is partly of what he thought. Galileo had to stand trial before court because of his crazy ideas. To escape torture, he confessed that the ideas of Copernicus were false. Remember, Nicholas Copernicus said that the earth revolved around the sun. So Galileo, in order to save his life and to avoid being tortured, made a false confession. He never truly believed his confession. It was just a way to save his life. He was never again a free man for the rest of his life and lived out the rest of his life under house arrest. He was never allowed to leave his property. In 1992, the Catholic Church admitted that Galileo had been right. It makes you kind of wonder why they waited all the way until 1992 to say, hey, Galileo, you're right. The earth does revolve around the sun. Even though that was decades after we went to the moon. Anyway, the scientific method. Now, I hope you're all familiar with the scientific method and at least attempted to complete some of these science projects that you've had the opportunity to do in years prior. The scientific method is a logical procedure for gathering and testing ideas. It starts off with an observation and a question and a hypothesis, experimentation, and a conclusion. Francis Bacon urged scientists to experiment and to draw conclusions. He said, you know what, we really shouldn't rely on the ideas of these medieval scholars who only look to what other people in the past thought or said, oh, you know what, this sounds like a great idea. Let's just call it law. He said, that's not cool. Okay? Whoops. Anyway, Francis Bacon was a huge supporter of the scientific method and actually helped to create it. There will be a video posted in your Canvas page about Francis Bacon. Think, pair, share. First thing I would like for you to do is to think to yourself about the following questions. How do you determine if something is real? How do I know this chair is real? How do I know this computer is real? Do you think everyone determines truth in the same manner? What is the best way to determine a truth? These are things that the scientists during the scientific revolution thought about. Take a moment and ponder the answers for yourself. Then I want you to talk to a person about what you came up with. What are your answers to these questions? And discuss. And then if you feel like it, sharing. Rene Descartes. Now, this is the I think, therefore I am guy. yes, this is the man who came up with this saying. And we'll go more into the logic behind that in social studies, but that's not for quite some time. Here we go. He believed everything should be doubted until proven by reason. Therefore, scientific laws should only be theories until they could be proven by data. Modern scientific methods are based on Descartes and Bacon's ideas. Okay, make sure you study up on all of these scientists from the scientific revolution. You will be having a test next week on these scientists, so make sure you know as much about them as possible. You guys have an awesome day.